Hello and welcome to a review of the 2023 Core Cole's Earth Dragon EVO set. Now let's get this thing opened up, built up, and let's take a look. If you're not too bothered about watching the build of this set, then you can just skip ahead using the chapters that I've added to the video to skip to the parts that you're most interested in. When the build is out of the way, we'll be taking a look at the minifigures, and when the minifigures are out of the way, we'll be taking a look at the set. So yeah, if you just want to skip ahead to looking at the set, then you can do that. And if you want to skip ahead to the minifigures, you can also do that. Now this set does of course include two minifigures. We've got the Bone Scorpio here on the right and the Core Cole minifigure on the left. So we have seen this Cole minifigure before. It's nothing new, it was in the temple, the Ninjago temple last year. It does come with this hammer piece here. And yeah, there we can see his torso printing and leg printing and the same face printing he has had for years now. And then his second face, and if we take the armor piece off, there we can see his back printing. So yeah, there's nothing new or special about this Cole minifigure, but it's a decent minifigure, so I'm not too bothered about getting another one. And yeah, it's a pretty cool little inclusion. And if you didn't get him last year, then this is your chance to get him now in a nice cheap set. And the other minifigure included in the set is the Bone Scorpio here. This is a brand new minifigure. It is just a kind of regular bone warrior that is sat on this scorpion mech piece that we will take a look at later. But as for the minifigure himself, there we can see everything that he has got to offer. He's got that pretty cool torso and leg printing there, with some printing on the feet there, with all the chainmail going over. And he's got the kind of skeleton printed underneath. As you can see, he's got this big, nice new bone saw piece. He's got the Ninjago movie sensei kind of hat in the red colour there. You can see his face with this cool new jaw piece, which does cover up the printing at the bottom of his head, which is very nice. So yeah, it kind of makes a big 3D jaw there for him. He's got the big teeth coming up there. And then there we can see his back printing with more of the chains and the skeleton underneath. And then if we just take his head off and look under the jaw piece there, we can see his full face print, which is just the same as the other Bone Warrior minifigures for the other wave. So yeah, that is the Bone Scorpio minifigure. It's just a basic Bone Warrior who then sits on this scorpion piece here. As you can see, it's built using the Chima spider legs. We've got 6 of those in white, and they just kind of clip on here and make the legs like so. And it's got this big piece in the back with it's just kind of acting as a stinger, so that can move up and down like so. And it has got the same leg piece in the back as well. And then the Bone Warrior just sits on there like so. And yeah, he can then go off and attack Cole or any of the other ninja, whoever you want him to attack. And here is the completed set itself. This is the Cole's Dragon, Earth Dragon EVO. So there we can see it's got this very long body here, as you can see, which is all kind of static. There is no movement in this at all. It's just kind of a big, long, straight body there. It's got the head in the front, which has got some very nice horns on it. And it has got this mouth, which can open and close like so. Unfortunately, the actual head itself is kind of locked in place by the way it is built, so you can't move it side to side or up and down. The only movement you can get is to open the jaw up or kind of give it an overbite or an underbite there. But yeah, all you can really do with it is open and close the jaw. It does have these horns on the side, which again can't move. It's just kind of fixed in place there like so. You can of course take those out. They are kind of just intended to be for the main full build, but when the kind of dragon is in its kind of other form, it is kind of just, they are just kind of intended to be left on the side there like so. So of course I will show you what the dragon looks like in that kind of powered down form later on. As you can see, the legs at the front here, they are very short, and they do have mixel joints at the front, so these front legs have got quite a bit of motion, which is very nice. These front feet are attached using these ratchet joints, which I'm not a big fan of. I would have preferred mixel joints there as well. But yeah, so they can move up and down, and yeah, you can kind of get it to stand up like so. Has got these orange wings on the sides of the legs as well, and those can also be removed. They are kind of just intended for the powered up form. So you can kind of get an idea of what this is going to look like in the smaller mode. As you can see around the back of the kind of body of this thing, it's got these giant spikes coming out of the side. They look very cool. They really help sell the kind of Earth Dragon aesthetic there. We've got some stickers on the side here with some details for the kind of orange and black printing there. And around the back of the body, as you can see, we've got another of those stickers there like so. Up at the top there, you can see we've got this flagpole here, and then we've got this saddle which can kind of move back and forth like so. And that is where you can sit Cole. He doesn't have anything to hold on to anything, so he's just kind of sat there like so. But yeah, you can kind of sit him there with the flagpole like so. And that is also removable, so you can just pull that off like so very easily. And there you can see the flag that is included, and Cole sat on there like so. And then you can see what the dragon looks like with the saddle taken off. And around to the back. Not a very big fan of these back legs here. As you can see, the kind of reverse of the front legs is what has happened here. We've got the feet on mixel joints, which is what I would have liked to have seen for the front feet. And then we've got the actual legs attached using ratchet joints, so the back legs can simply just be kind of flattened out like so, or moved down. And then of course you've got the feet which can move by mixel joints like so, to get some range of articulation there. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen mixel joints on these front legs as well as the back legs. Kind of, I guess mixel joints for the whole system would have been a lot better than what we've got. But yeah. And then as you can see, we've got this big tail in the back. It is finished off with this tail ending here with this big kind of spiky club there. It's got the two giant Chima teeth pieces there in the same colour as these spikes on the front of the body. And yeah, the whole thing is on a mixer joint at the end there as well. So yeah, that tail is pretty nice, and it can just kind of move side to side like so. And then as for the actual dragon itself, you notice that the body is very long. You can of course hold this like so, so that's pretty cool. You can kind of just hold this and do what you want with it. That's nice, and as you can see, you can kind of get the whole thing kind of rearing up like so. So yeah, I guess that kind of makes up for the lack of head articulation a tiny little bit. You can get the kind of head looking up like so just by moving the legs and stuff. So yeah, that's not too bad. But then as for the actual body itself, you can remove the body like so. So you can just snap the whole thing in half. And then you can also pull it off here. So what you've got is this middle section here. And then what you are left with, when you attach it back together, here you just have this kind of smaller dragon, and that is of course what you build first of all before you build all of the extra add-ons. So all of these extra pieces here, as you can see, they are just kind of intended to be add-ons that you kind of upgrade the dragon with. As you can see with the back of the box here, how it shows you've got the dragon first in this little kind of small form, and then you get all the extra add-on pieces to make the bigger dragon. Actually, the tail is apparently part of those add-on pieces like so. So the actual main dragon itself, the original form of it, is just this small little thing. And to be honest, I actually think this is better than the full dragon itself. Because of the small, very short body here, it actually kind of makes up for the lack of articulation in the legs, because, you know, they're just kind of these small little things that add on to this small body. It is a nice little stubby small little dragon, and yeah, it definitely fits the Earth aesthetic there. And of course you can kind of move the legs down like so and get it kind of hunched down to the ground, and yeah, I think that looks very cool. But then of course, if you do want to add all the extra add-ons on, of course, you can do so and then make the bigger dragon as you wish. I do actually kind of prefer the dragon in its smaller form, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting to like the dragon better in the big kind of fully finished form, but yeah, I guess that's just the way things worked out. So of course we can take the body off here and extend it using this piece, putting that back on. Now we've got the longer body there, and then we can finish it off by placing on the saddle with Cole. And then there we have got, once again, the completed dragon, which isn't terrible, don't get me wrong, but it isn't as good as I was expecting it to be. I'm kind of a little bit disappointed with the lack of head articulation here, and yeah, the back legs being on these ratchet joints, not a huge fan of that. On the whole, it's not a terrible dragon, and yeah, even though I do prefer it in the kind of smaller, pre-upgraded form, surprisingly, I do think this is a decent dragon. And yeah, it's nice to get another Earth Dragon. We haven't gotten one of those for a while now, so yeah, it's a nice little Earth Dragon to get, and it definitely fits the aesthetic of an Earth Dragon well. Of course, these wings aren't exactly going to help the thing fly, but I guess that's not really what an Earth Dragon is for. They're kind of supposed to be down on the ground doing their own dragon things. So yeah, that is it for Cole's Earth Dragon EVO, the completed set. The set does of course come with one instruction booklet here. There we can see the front of that. And then we've got the back there, and then if we take a look inside, we can see we do have an advertisement for the other core sets. We've got an advertisement there for the Ninjago magazines that are available in certain countries in Europe and Asia, and I'm sure some other countries will be getting added to that very soon. So yeah, you can see I have done short kind of showcases of some of these magazines, but not all of them. But yeah, it's a pretty cool advertisement showing, I guess they're going to be expanding these out more. And yeah, we've got the core sets there. And then there are some other little illustrations in this, as you can see. We've got the Earth Dragon fighting the Bone Warrior there. We've got Sensei Wu kind of presenting the little scroll that we get given. We've got another kind of anime little illustration of the Earth Dragon there. And yeah, there are some cool illustrations all throughout the build of this. So we can see we've got another one there with Cole and the Earth Dragon as we open up bag 4. And one of the Earth Dragon fighting the spider, the Bone Warrior spider guy. And there is another one there. So yeah, we've got some cool illustrations all throughout this thing. I'm not going to show you them all, but yeah, that is it for the instructions. Now we can get on to my final thoughts for this set. So yeah, overall, as I said, I think this is a decent set. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. It's nice to get an Earth Dragon, but it's definitely not the best Earth Dragon that we have gotten. As I also said, I do kind of prefer it in its shorter, more stubbier look, surprisingly, than the kind of full powered up version, but it's not terrible. I don't really know how it compares to the core dragons of last year because I didn't get those ones, the ones for Kai and Jay. But I do think this is better than them, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have got it, quite frankly. But yeah, of the two core dragons, the EVO dragons that were released this year, which is of course Cole and Nia's, I do surprisingly prefer Nia's dragon to this one. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this set. Hope you've enjoyed this review, and yeah, I will see you again very soon.